Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Flow and Restore yoga practice. And today, our live community has asked to physically focus on releasing tension in the hamstrings, the hips, specifically the psoas, and helping to practice postures that help to align the hips. So make sure you have quite a few props, as you might see behind me, 2 blocks, a strap, a bolster, and a blanket. And let's begin in a comfortable way to sit. And since we are going to be focusing on the hips, find a way that you can start to open up around the hips. You can turn out the thighs and maybe switch the leg that you normally cross in front. If you have a default leg that crosses in front, so that you can bring in a little more balance to stretching the hips. So today, let me start with this question. How easy or challenging is it for you to truly rest? How often do you rest? How do you feel when you give yourself time to rest? I don't know about you, but I was raised in a culture and a family culture of um, always having to be productive. So if I'm sitting around looking like I'm resting, I'm doing something wrong. And so I had a lot of anxiety about resting. I want to share a few excerpts from an article written by Thich Nhat Hanh, the Buddhist monk that I often share mindfulness practices from. And this is called Rest in the River. And he wrote, "The problem is that not many of us know how to allow our body and mind to rest. We are always struggling. Struggling has become a kind of habit. We cannot resist being active, struggling all the time. We struggle even during our sleep." Any jaw clenchers there? It is very important to realize that we have the habit energy of struggling. We have to be able to recognize a habit when it manifests itself, because if we know how to recognize our habit, it will lose its energy and will not be able to push us anymore. We have to practice in order to be able to transform this habit in us. The habit of struggle has become a powerful source of energy that is shaping our behavior, our actions, and our reactions. And for those of us here in the West, like we live here in Los Angeles, our culture is much about busyness and, how many things can you do at the same time, valuing multitasking. So that kind of thinking has been there for a long time. Maybe that feeling has been transmitted to us from our ancestors and our parents. That is why we have to wake up to the presence of that habit energy in us and to practice doing the reverse. Make the present moment, the here and now, into your true home. That is the only home that we have. To take an in-breath, to smile, and to touch the conditions of happiness that are available is something that all of us can do. And so Thich Nhat Hanh has a lot of little poems to chant mentally to help us to remember the resources that are right here, the conditions that are right here in this present moment for our happiness. For example, you might try this with me, placing your hands at your heart center and maybe closing the eyes. And as you breathe in, mentally saying, I breathe in and feel my heart. I breathe out and I'm grateful for my heart. I breathe in, I feel my heart. I breathe out, I'm grateful for my heart. When we're running around busying ourselves or having a difficulty being still and truly relaxing, where the mind isn't focusing on what am I going to do later, or sometimes even some people might think watching TV or scrolling on social media is their relaxation time. But how many of you ever feel drained after doing that? right? So really learning how to rest our consciousness, not just our bodies, but our minds as well. And so we're going to be practicing that a little more when we sit in meditation. And then sometimes we got to get the busy energy out of our bodies and move our bodies so that we can relax into stillness. So we have our flow and then our stillness part, our restorative. Let's take a moment here to check in with our bodies by maybe closing the eyes and mentally scanning the different sensations that are happening in your body right now. Simply acknowledging what they are without labeling them as either good or bad. Don't have to judge what you're observing. And then feeling the qualities of your breath right now. No need to control it or change it. Just letting the breath inform you about your energy. Sensing the state of your mind, the state of your heart. And now let the breath in a little slower, feeling it move into the body and expanding. Open your mouth to let it go. Feeling the softening of the belly. Breathe in a little deeper, inviting the breath into your side ribs, left and right. Breathe out a little slower and maybe allow a sound to release. A sigh. Continue to deepen your breath. A few times exhaling to your mouth. Cultivating a sense of ease, of arriving mentally here in your practice through deeper and deeper breaths, acknowledging the beauty of all that is here in this present moment. And now I invite you to call to mind something about your day that you feel gratitude for. With the energy of gratitude, identify what you are going to choose to focus on in this practice, embodying the energy of, and bringing that energy with you outside of this practice. Taking a moment to set your sankalpa or intention. And as you think of those around you, the many lives that you intersect with, near and far, I invite you to choose somebody that you may like to extend your practice benefits to by dedicating this practice to them. And together, let's open the space, connecting with our Mother Earth through vibrational sound and connecting with each other by chanting together 3 ohms. Let in a deep breath. Ha. 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 Breathing in, feel the breath expand to its fullest. Breathing out, close the lips and empty it to the very bottom. As you start to gently constrict the back of your throat, invite a soft whisper to listen to in your breath. And as you can hear your breathing, invite a smooth quality while you balance the length of in and out breaths. This is a practice of mindful breathing called Ujjayi Pranayama, which means victorious breath. It helps to balance your energy, especially as we start to move the body and try to keep this rhythm audible and consistent. And it also helps to bring calm and focus to your mind and body. We're going to be moving to this rhythm, so see if you can keep it going throughout much of our physical practice. So let's start in child's pose, bringing your feet together at the rear of your mat, stepping your knees together or apart, and sitting back towards your heels as you actively stretch your arms forward, resting your forehead on the ground. As you lengthen the crown of your head forward, glide your shoulder blades back, sink your hips down, and invite the breath to stretch into the left and right walls of your rib cage. We're going to come into a variation of cat-cow pose that requires you to really breathe slowly because the movements are farther apart. So see if you can match the length of the movements with the length of the breaths. Here we go. As you breathe in, rock forward to all fours, parallel your shins, and coil your chest up into cow pose. Tucking your toes as you breathe out, lift your hips back into downward facing dog. Once again, inhale, set the knees down and coil your chest up into cow pose. Exhale, draw the hips up, press your thighs back, downward facing dog. Let's try 3 more at your own pace of breath. Inhaling cow. Exhaling downward dog. Inhaling cow. Exhaling downward dog. Inhaling cow. And exhaling downward dog. Now, when you get to downward dog, spend a few breaths moving any way your body might be asking you to loosen up, pedaling the feet, swiveling the hips to get into the outer hips, shaking and nodding the head. Continue to listen to that audible rhythm in your breath. And if it becomes choppy or difficult to breathe, you're in charge of slowing down your body, resting, or backing off so you're not as deep in a pose, making sure you're balancing your energy and practicing wisely and compassionately with yourself. All right, find stillness and downward facing dog. Steady your gaze. Empty this breath before you walk to the top of your mat. Forward fold. Bend your knees generously and drop the head loose. As you inhale, roll your spine slowly upright, like you're stacking one vertebra at a time. Rolling your shoulders behind you and down as you stand tall. Join your hands in prayer at your heart center. See that your feet are hips distance apart and parallel to each other, and then press firmly down through the 4 corners of each foot as you rise up tall to your heart center and the back of your skull. Take a moment to remember your intention and the energy of it that you are embodying as you move to your breath. While we offer gratitude to the sun with sun salutation C, Surya Namaskar C. As you breathe in, sweep your arms forward and overhead, rolling the shoulders back and down, look up. As you breathe out, hinge forward from your hips. Place your fingertips on the ground. Inhale, step the left knee behind you, kneeling lunge, look up. As you hold your breath, step to plank pose. Exhale, lower your knees, then chest, then chin, Ashtangasana. Inhale, slither forward, drawing the shoulders back and down to cobra. Exhale, lift your hips back, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot beside your left thumb. Lower your right knee and gaze up. Exhale, step your right foot forward and fold. Press to your feet. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana, gentle back bend. Exhale, hands in prayer, Padasana, side two. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Place the fingertips down. Inhale, step the right knee back. Kneeling lunge, look up. Hold your breath as you step to plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest, then chin. Inhale, slither forward to cobra, Bhujangasana. Exhale, lift your hips back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, step the right foot beside the right thumb, left knee down, look up. Exhale, step the left foot forward and fold. Press to your feet. Inhale, rise, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, join your hands in prayer. Let's move on to sun salutation B. Stepping your feet together to touch, preparing for chair pose. So listen to your breath. Go just as slow. As you inhale, bend your knees together to touch. Sit low and glide your shin bones back as you raise the arms. Relax the shoulders. Exhale, shift your weight forward and fold. Press down with your hands on blocks, shins or the floor, lengthen forward. Step into plank pose. You could lower knees, chest, chin, or follow me forward to Chaturanga, hugging your elbows to your ribs. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now try to keep left and right hip leveled. Inhale, raise the right leg back. Exhale, softly step the foot forward beside the right thumb. Spin the left heel down. Inhale, rise to warrior one. Ride your exhalation all the way down into your vinyasa. Follow your breath. From downward dog, keep your hips leveled. Inhale, raise your left leg back. Exhale, step the foot forward beside the left thumb. Drop the right heel. Inhale, rise, warrior one. Exhale all the way down, vinyasa. Downward facing. Cultivate stillness in your body and your gaze for 3 to 5 deep breaths. When you can hear your breathing is calmer, as deep as the beginning, and balanced, then empty your breath before you walk or lightly jump forward. Remember, no rush. Feet together, touching. Inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees, chair pose. Exhale to rise. One last time, inhale, chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen forward. Take it to your vinyasa. Step back, float back, all the way to downward dog. From downward, inhale, raise your right leg. Exhale, step it forward. Drop the back heel. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale all the way down, vinyasa. When you get to downward, continue on your own left side. Then pause for 3 to 5 breaths, rebalancing and smoothing out your breathing. When you're ready, empty the breath before you walk or jump lightly to the top. Feet together, forward fold. Inhale, half forward fold. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend your knees, chair pose. Exhale to rise. So from here, I invite you to place 2 blocks in front of you on their tallest height, shoulders width apart. I'm going to mirror you. So start with your feet together, touching behind the blocks about a foot. Let's turn out the thighs as we play with a standing balancing pose. So start with your hands in prayer at your heart and steady your gaze. Find a spot that's not moving just a few feet ahead. And now feel your breathing and how you're allowing your breathing, the way you're breathing, to support feeling balanced, feeling centered, feeling grounded. Slowing it down, smoothing it out. Use that rhythm to bring a resting feeling to your mind. Shift your weight onto your left foot. Flex your right foot. Cross the right ankle over your left thigh as you rotate the right thigh externally. Bend your left knee and pull your hips back and down. See if you can get your left knee to stack just on top of your left heel. How's your breathing? Stay here as high as you need. You can lift the arms to play with more balance. You could go deeper in the hips if it's available, lowering your fingertips on your blocks and adjusting the height of the blocks. Keep flexing your right foot. We're here for about 4 more deep breaths. Bring your hands to prayer. Press down to your left foot to rise and come back to mountain pose. Pause here. Rest your body and observe it. Can you hear your breathing? All right, steady your gaze. Keep your breath smooth and steady. No rush, right? A lot of balancing has to be with the way you're pacing yourself, right? If we get in too fast, we could easily fall fast. So take your time. Shift your weight onto your right foot. Flex your left foot. Rotate the left thigh externally at the hip. And as you bend the right knee, cross the left ankle over the right thigh and turn out the left thigh some more. See if you can equally pull your hips back and down slowly as you engage your abdomen. Trying to stack the right knee just above the right heel. You might raise the arms, which makes it more challenging to balance if you need challenge. You might lower your hands on blocks, which gets deeper into the hips if that's available. We're here for 4 more deep breaths. Join your hands in prayer, press down to your right foot, and inhale to rise all the way up. Set the left foot down and pause. Observe your mind, your breathing, and your body. Noticing anything that's coming up for you as we observe what habits are revealed within us, because some postures can definitely reveal things that we didn't know about ourselves. Oh, I didn't know I favor that hip, or I didn't know I tell myself that, right? So notice what your practice is showing to you. This is like a mirror. All right, everybody, let's come down to sit and we'll come into other variations of hip focus, hamstring focus postures. Grab your strap and extend your left leg in front. Bring your sole of your right foot high on your inner left thigh and place the strap around the ball of your left foot. Holding the strap with 2 hands, give yourself enough slack as you kick into the strap. Press it away with the left foot and flex the left toes back. so that you're able to roll your shoulders back and down. And as you press your sitting bones down, lift up through your spine. Keep your throat and chest open. Breathe in. And as you breathe out, turning your chest to face your left pinky toe, begin to bow from the hips in that direction. Pause, breathe in, press the pelvis down, stretch the spine a little longer, keep relaxing the shoulders, opening the chest, and then maybe you fold deeper. And I say maybe because it depends on your body. If you're able to continue to lift the chest, open the neck, then continue folding. But if your body is doing this, the shoulders are shrugging or the back is rounding, that's your body saying, no, 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 no. So listen to that and back off to the point where you can keep that elongated spine and lifted chest. Some of you might take hold of your ankle or foot with two hands if that's reachable. We're here for about 5 or 6 more breaths in head to knee pose or Janu Shirshasana. Pressing downward through your 2 sitting bones, lead with your chest. Inhale to slowly rise all the way up. Relax your feet, stretch the legs forward, and just pause. Take a moment of rest. In this stillness, notice what comes to your attention. Can you still hear your breathing? Keep listening to that as we switch sides, turning out your left thigh. Hug the sole of your left foot high against your inner right thigh. Place the strap around the ball of your right foot. As you flex your right foot, press it against the strap. Give yourself enough slack as you hold the strap with 2 hands so that you can roll your shoulders back and down and sit tall. Press the pelvis down to lift the spine up. Open your chest, open your throat, breathe in. As your chest faces your right pinky toe, exhale, hinge a little forward from the hips, pause. Breathe in, press the pelvis down, stretch the spine a little longer. And then exhale, maybe you hinge some more. Notice what your body is telling you as we continue for several more breaths here in Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose. Press down to your pelvis. Inhale to slowly rise. Stretch the legs forward. Relax your entire body and observe it. A few breaths. Now let's turn to face the wide width of your mat, straddling the legs wide apart. For me, it helps me to get a little more width across the legs by first coming into Skandasana in a gentle moving, bending one knee as you turn out the thigh, straightening the opposite leg and switching a few times. And then from there, sliding the heels apart and rotating from the hip sockets, not the knees. Make sure you're not twisting the knees at all laterally. And then from here, you can place any props in front of you, such as a stack of blocks to rest your forehead on when we fold, or a pillow, blanket, or You can come down to your forearms in a moment. So I find it helpful to flex my feet so that the knees do not turn forward. You want to keep your sitting bones rooting downward. So using your hands, try cupping the tops of your thighs and rotating your inner thighs back. So really feel your two bones at the bottom of your pelvis, your sitting bones pressing down. And then from there, lift up your frontal hip bones, lightly engage the belly, and stretch tall through the spine from the bottom up. Relax the shoulders again. Breathe in. You might feel plenty of a hip opener staying here. Otherwise, as you breathe out, start to fold, using your inhales to pause, ground the pelvis and stretch the spine a little longer, and your exhales to explore maybe folding deeper. We're going to be here for 3 minutes, so take your time. Focus on your breathing and cultivate awareness of what you're experiencing in your body and your mind. One more deep breath here. Take your time coming out, pressing your hands into the floor and starting with lifting your chest, slowly lifting your torso. Then place your hands onto your outer thighs, gently bending the knees as you slide the thighs together, straightening the legs forward. Once again, in stick pose, relax your body, breathe and observe. Notice the effects of that posture, what it brought up for you. Noticing without judging to cultivate loving awareness. I'm going to invite you now to place your props closer to arm's reach near the rear of your mat. Basically all of your props, so just slide them over to that side so we have more options. And please come to lie down on your back. As you lie on your back, set your feet on the floor with your knees bent. Separate your feet wider apart than your hips distance, maybe as wide as your mat width. Keep your feet where they are. Drop your knees both to the left side so your legs do not touch each other. And point your right knee down the lengthwise midline of your mat. Notice any sensations happening at the front of your right hip into the right side of your lower back. This is your psoas. If there's plenty happening, stay here. Don't go any further. If there's not much happening and you do want to explore more, then pick up your left foot and cross it just above your right knee onto your right thigh. And if your knee feels tender, flex the foot of that knee. And you can leave the arms down, or you can also add exploring raising the arms overhead and holding opposite bent elbows as you relax the arms back. All right, breathing in. Can you feel the fullness of your breath? Breathing out, can you feel a sense of truly resting, where your mind is not somewhere else other than where your body is right now? We're here for one last breath. Slowly lift your knees and step your feet apart again, wider than hips distance. Just pause here, relax. Do you notice anything shifting physically, mentally, energetically? As you listen to your breathing, drop your knees gently to your right side. Legs are not touching each other. Point your left knee down the center line of your mat. Pause here and observe. What do you feel around the front of your left hip and the left side of your lower back? Is your body asking you to stay in this version of the pose? Or is your body asking you to find something deeper? If the latter, you could cross the right ankle just above your left knee, flexing your foot if your knee feels tender. You might also explore raising your arms overhead. And if you did this on the first side, maybe switch the elbow that you hold on top. Now follow this next in-breath to the very top. And notice how emptying the breath feels all the way to the bottom. One more deep breath. Very gently start to unravel, this time straightening your legs flat on the floor, resting your arms down by your sides, or resting a hand to your heart center and a hand to your lower belly. Just feel what you notice. Let's draw the right bent knee towards the chest, taking hold of your thigh or your shin with two hands while you rest your shoulders on the ground. Rest your head down. Use a pillow under your head if you need one. Just circling the right foot for a moment in both directions as you breathe that soft whisper. Wind relieving pose, Ardha Apanasana. Now, you might find a strap useful here. Imagine that you're bringing your right leg and only your right leg into happy baby pose. So keep the left leg on the floor. You might even flex the left foot to help keep the back of the left hip grounded. Bring your right arm on the inside of your right thigh and either hold your calf, your shin, or your outer foot. And as you splay your right thigh to the outside of your right ribs, lift the sole of your right foot to face the ceiling, like it's literally standing on the ceiling, and bend your right knee towards the ground outside of your right shoulder while using your left hand to press down on the top of your left thigh near your hip bone so that the back of your left hip stays glued to the floor. So here, like a lying down version of lizard lunge. Let's breathe. So let's come into a spinal twist that will also target the area of the IT band. So you may like to use a strap here and place it around the ball of your right foot. Relax your left foot if you've been flexing it. Step the ball of your right foot into the strap. Hold the strap only in your left hand. Scoot your pelvis towards the right side of your mat, about 3 to 5 more inches. Slide your right arm wide on the ground. Keep that shoulder on the ground the whole pose. And sickle your right foot. So from the ankle, turn the sole of the foot to face the left wall and begin to cross your right leg over your body, breath by breath. As you do that, invite this right outer hip to tilt towards the front edge of your mat, creating traction to also stretch the lower back. We're not here very long, just a couple last breaths. Then inhale, slowly lift the leg up towards the sky, flex both feet, have both frontal hip bones facing the ceiling, and use two hands to hold the strap. Bend your elbows apart, keep the right leg straight without locking the knee. If your hamstring is not happy, bend your left knee. Bringing the right leg towards you. Again, we're not here very long, just a couple more breaths. And release. The right leg straight on the ground. Pause, like corpse pose. Maybe hand to heart, hand to belly. Notice what you notice. Can you still hear your breathing? Now let's bend the left knee into your chest. Pelvis is centered on the midline of the mat. Take hold of your left thigh or shin in wind relieving pose and give your left foot a few circles in both directions. Relax your shoulders on the floor. Rest your head down and breathe. Let's take that half happy baby pose. So press the right hand on the top of your right thigh. Bring the left arm on the inside of the left thigh. Take hold of your shin or your outer foot. And as you bend the left knee open to the outside of your left ribs, lift the sole of your left foot as if it's standing on the ceiling. Breath by breath, as the back of the right hip stays grounded, draw your left knee towards the earth outside of your left shoulder. Flexing your right foot can help you also to keep that back of the right hip grounded. Now let's bring the strap. You might like to use it for your twist around the ball of your left foot. Unflex your feet. Extend your left leg up towards the sky. Hold the strap in your right hand. Slide your pelvis towards the left side of your mat and open the left arm wide on the floor. Keep your left shoulder on the ground and sickle your left foot from the ankle. Turn the sole of your left foot to face your right wall. Little by little, cross your left leg over your body into a spinal twist. And as you do that, invite your left outer hip to tilt forward towards the front edge of your mat. Just a few more deep breaths here. Slowly bring the leg up towards the ceiling, flexing both feet. Hold the strap with both hands. Square your hips to face the sky, and as you keep the left leg straight without locking the knee, know that you can bend the right knee if needed. Bend your elbows apart and bring the left leg closer and closer. And release back to corpse pose. Pause and observe. And now it's time to set up for Shavasana. So take a moment with all these props that you can reach around you. If you need some lower back support, you could place your pillow right across beneath your knees like this. If you need more hip openers, you can lie down with the knees bent wide. And if your knees are uncomfortably lifting away from the ground, place a block or any other prop under each outer knee or thigh. Just try to make sure they're both the same thickness so both hips get an even support. If you need some grounding support, you could place the weight of a folded blanket over your belly and pelvis like this. If you have any little pillows or blankets you can place on top of your forearms, that can also be grounding support, as well as an eye pillow. So take a moment to set up in your preferred posture to be able to be still and truly rest. And I'm going to invite you into box breathing before we let go of controlling the breath. So as you might be closing the eyes and checking in to feel that your hands and feet are relaxed, your expression on your face is soft and free, your shoulders are relaxed, your belly is soft, your pelvic floor is relaxed. Samavriti pranayama or box breathing is a technique of inviting relaxation to the body and mind. It's done by closing the lips and breathing very softly, so you're not trying to create a sound anymore. Inhaling for 4 counts, holding the breath for 4 counts, exhaling for 4 counts, and holding the breath for 4 counts. Let's try 3 cycles together, 3 cycles on your own, and then letting go of controlling the breath. Observe what you feel. Prepare to start by emptying this breath. Inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Second cycle. Inhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold 4, 3, 2, 1. Third cycle. Inhale 4, hold 4, exhale 4, hold 4. On your own, continue for 3 cycles. When you have finished, notice how you feel as you breathe naturally. Continuing to observe your mind, body, and energy as you rest, truly rest in stillness. As you continue resting here, feel your body and how it's responding to your physical yoga. Be very gentle and gradual as you start to move and wake up your body. Start with something subtle, like rubbing your thumbs across your fingertips. Little by little, easing into slow, larger movements. And eventually turning over onto your right side and resting your head. As you rest on your side, notice the quality of your breathing and notice how your energy feels right now. Then take your time lifting your body up, finding a comfortable way to sit where you can feel open to breathe well naturally, relaxed, and grounded. You might place your hands in a mudra, such as stacking the right palm face up over the left palm face up on the center of your lap, thumb tips touching, closing your eyes if you feel comfortable, and just relaxing into feeling your breath naturally come and go. Thich Nhat Hanh wrote in that article I was sharing, suppose someone is holding a pebble and throws it in the air, and the pebble begins to fall down into a river. After the pebble touches the surface of the water, it allows itself to sink slowly into the river. It will reach the bed of the river without any effort. Once the pebble is at the bottom of the river, it continues to rest. It allows the water to pass by. I think the pebble reaches the bed of the river by the shortest path because it allows itself to fall without making any effort. During our sitting meditation, we can allow ourselves to rest like a pebble. We can allow ourselves to sink naturally without effort to the position of sitting, the position of resting. What would it feel like if your mind was like an effortless pebble, just resting? Do you feel the expression of resting in your face? Notice how your mind feels right now. Notice the state of your heart. How does it feel to give yourself true rest? In what way can you incorporate true rest this week? No matter how short of a time, but really just giving yourself permission to not have to think about anything and to just be still, relaxing your body and relaxing your mind. And notice how you feel at the end of the week when you intentionally integrate that each day. As we bring this practice to a close, I invite you to think of someone or something you would like to acknowledge right now with gratitude. And then remind yourself of what your intention was. Remember to whom you dedicated this practice. And together, let's close, joining our voices with our Mother Earth 3 ohms. Let in a deep breath. Bowing in towards your heart center, honoring the light within. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.